A very good morning to one and all gathered here. I'm Shyama from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, and take great pleasure in welcoming all of you to this function. We have gathered this morning for the Dr. D Balakrishnan Commemorative Lecture on 11th death anniversary. We, the Vidya family members, cherish the memories of working with him on this day, and as a gesture of homage to the greatly admired leader, we observe August 16 as DB Day. Dr. D Balakrishnan was a great visionary and leader who worked with imagination, insight, and boldness. He was a far-sighted educationist and a social entrepreneur. The positive impact his association had on this institution helped it grow as one of the best engineering colleges in the state. We remember his contributions with gratitude, and to perpetuate his legacy and to rededicate ourselves to the cause of the advancement of his vision, we conduct Dr. D Balakrishnan Commemorative Lecture every year. Let's rejuvenate ourselves with Deva Dashagam.
ദൈവമേ കാത്തുകൊള്ളുന്നു കൈവിടാതങ്ങു ഞങ്ങളെ നാവികൻ നീ ഭവാബ്ധിക്യോരാവിവൻ തോണി നിൻപദം ഒന്നൊന്നായെണ്ണി എണ്ണി തൊട്ടെണ്ണും പൊരുളൊടുങ്ങിയ നിന്നിടും ദൃക്കുപോലുള്ളം നിന്നിലസ്പന്ദമാകണം അന്നവസ്ത്രാദി മുട്ടാതെ തന്നു രക്ഷിച്ചു ഞങ്ങളെ ധന്യരാക്കുന്ന നീയൊന്നു തന്നെ ഞങ്ങൾക്കു തമ്പുരാൻ ആഴിയും തിരയും കാറ്റും ആഴവും പോലെ ഞങ്ങളും മായയും നിൻ മഹിമയും നീയുമെന്നുള്ളിലാകണം നീയല്ലോ സൃഷ്ടിയും സ്രഷ്ടാവായതും സൃഷ്ടിജാലവും നീയല്ലോ ദൈവമേ സൃഷ്ടിക്കുള്ള സാമഗ്രിയായതും നീയല്ലോ മായയും മായാവിയും മായാവിനോദനം നീയല്ലോ മായയെ നീക്കി സായുജ്യം നൽകുമാര്യനും നീ സത്യം ജ്ഞാനമാനന്ദം നീ തന്നെ വർത്തമാനവും ഭൂതവും ഭാവിയും വേറല്ലോതും മൊഴിയുമോർക്കിൽ നീ അകവും പുറവും തിങ്ങും മഹിമാവാർന്ന നിൻപദം പുകഴ്ത്തുന്നു ഞങ്ങളങ്ങു ഭഗവാനെ ജയിക്കുക ജയിക്കുക മഹാദേവ ദീനാവനപരായണ ജയിക്കുക ചിദാനന്ദ ദയാസിന്ധോ ജയിക്കുക ആഴമേറും നിൻ മഹസാമാഴിയിൽ ഞങ്ങളാകവേ ആഴണം വാഴണം നിത്യം വാഴണം വാഴണം സുഖം ആഴമേറും നിൻ മഹസാമാഴിയിൽ ഞങ്ങളാകവേ ആഴണം വാഴണം നിത്യം വാഴണം വാഴണം സുഖം.
I'm sure that all of you present here will share the opinion with me when I say that roots can never be forgotten in the process of growth. Let's now catch a glimpse of this auspicious day programs held in our campus the previous years. I now invite Dr. C.B. Saji, our beloved principal, for the welcome speech.
Thank you, Ms. Sharma. President of the function, Sri Manoj Kumar KB, Vice Chairman with the International Charitable Trust. Respected Chief Guest, Dr. Mohanan Kunnumal, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Kerala University of Health Sciences. Our guest of honor, Dr. KPP Pillai, former Executive Secretary, ISTE. Our Chief Patron, Engineer PK Ashokan. Engineer G. Mohanachandran, our Honorable Advisor and Non-Executive Director. Shri Suresh Lal, Executive Director. Shri P.N. Unirajan, retired IPS, Director Administration. PTA President, Srimati Nisha Wilson. Dean Academics, Dr. Sudha Balagopalan. Vice Principal, Dr. V.N. Krishnachandran. Dr. Ramani Bhai, the Program Convener and Head of the Department, Computer Science. Ms. Mahalakshmi, the Program Coordinator. Honorable Author Trustees, members of the Executive Committee, Honorable Trustees of Vidya International Charitable Trust, our honorable advisors, including Padma Shri M.C. Dattan sir, beloved family members of Vidya, family members of Dr. D Balakrishnan and relatives, invited VIPs, head of departments, dear students, members of Vidya family. We are immensely pleased to welcome you all to this function today. As all of you are aware, Dr. D Balakrishnan was the founder, academic director of the institution. He has been a great personality with a lot of vision, which made Vidya today the institution which it is today. Without his vision, without his initiatives, probably this noble institution would not have been at this juncture today as one of the leading institutions in the state. In 2010, on this day, he left us for his heavenly abode, and on his memory, every year we organize this program. Today, we are extremely happy that our Vice President, Sri Manoj Kumar KB, is presiding this function. A very systematic approach is his signature, and his cordial administration is well admired. Currently in Dubai, leading one of the corporate organizations. We are very thankful that you are joined today. Let me extend a very hearty welcome to you, sir. Hearty welcome. Our chief guest, Shri Mohan Kundummel, Dr. Mohan Kundummel, is a very well established academician, distinguished academician rather, and also his contribution to the health department. He was in the chat just before, he was also speaking about his concerns and how individual has to be various for fighting this pandemic. His contribution to the health sector is enormous. He'll be introduced in detail before he addresses us. Let me extend a very warm welcome to you, sir. Welcome to this function. Dr. KPP Pillai may be a stalwart in academics and academic administration, former executive secretary to the Indian Society for Technical Education. His contribution to the technical education sector of our state, as well as to the country, cannot be briefed in few words. He has been very insistent in ensuring quality of technical education in our state, and in his position as the administrator, executive secretary of ISTE, he has ensured that the technical education sector is in the right track. Thank you, sir, for joining today with us. A hearty welcome to you. Our chief patron, he has always been a pillar of strength and support for all of us here, Engineer P.K. Ashokan. From the very beginning of the institution, the concept of having a socially committed institution came from such great individuals. He is today with us. Hearty welcome to you, sir. Engineer G. Mohanachandran, honorary advisor as well as our former executive director, has always been a great support in all the initiatives which we are doing in this institution. Hearty welcome to Engineer G. Mohanachandran. Our executive director, Shri Suresh Lal, with his excellent administrative skills, leading this institution now forward from where this institution has been. Thank you for joining. Hearty welcome to you, sir, to this function. Our Director of Administration, Mr. P. N. Unnirajan, former retired IPS, is also participating on this function. My hearty welcome to you, sir. Our PTA President, Srimati Nisha Wilson Nair. Very special mention is essential because of the way she interacts with the institution, give great support in all activities. We are happy to have your presence today with us. Hearty welcome to Ms. Nisha Wilson. Dr. Ramani Bai, the convener, as well as Mahalakshmi, the coordinator, also is here today. They are the real strategists who are organizing this function. Hearty welcome to both of you. Our author trustees have kindly consented to be here. They are joining this function. Members of executive committee are here with us, and the honorable trustees of Vidya are here with us. Hearty welcome to all of you. Because of you, we are here. Shri Padma Shri M.C. Dattan, he has been our advisor, our support, our leading light whenever required. The right choices made by the institution has always been with his support. We are very happy to have Padma Shri M.C. Dattan with us today. Hearty welcome to you, sir. Our honorary advisors, including Dr. Anil B, is here, academic director, academics is here. We also have the project director, the principal from Vidya Kilimanu, hearty welcome to all of you to this function. Our former principal, Professor Pratapachandran Nair, esteemed professors, Dr. KBM Namboodiripad, Dr. C. Krishnan, and the members of heads of departments of various engineering and non-engineering departments of this institution. Our dear students are all part of this function. I'm extremely pleased to welcome you all to this function. With these interactions which is going to happen today, we'll know in depth about what this personality, what Dr. D Balakrishnan has been to this institution and to the society. The family members and relatives, as an institution, we are so thankful to you for sharing, without you, the pillar of support for him, all of you has been so close to our hearts. It will continue to be so close to our hearts. Thank you for joining. Hearty welcome to each one of you. Today during this program, many of his friends, Dr. D Balakrishnan's friends, associates have joined us. VIPs has joined us. We are proud and happy to have all your presence. Thank you so much. Welcoming you, each one of you, once again to this function. Let me conclude. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Manoj Kumar KB is the present Vice Chairman of Vidya International Charitable Trust. After taking over as Vice Chairman of the Trust, he has been spearheading various developmental activities of Vidya with his rich academic background and immense professional experience. He has kindly consented to preside over this function. I invite him for the presidential speech.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Honorable Dr. Mohanan, Vice Chancellor of Kerala University of Health Sciences, Dr. KPP Pillai, former Executive Secretary of Indian Society for Technical Education, Engineer P.K. Ashokan, Chief Patron of Vidya International Charitable Trust, Engineer G. Mohanethan, Honorary Advisor and Non-Executive Director of Vidya, former Executive Director of Vidya for over a decade, Mr. Suresh Lal, Executive Director of Vidya and former Finance Director, Mr. P.N. Unirajan, IPS, Administrative Director of Vidya, Dr. Saji CB, Principal of Vidya Academy of Science and Technology, Dr. Sudha Balagopal, Dean of VAST and former Principal of Vidya Academy of Science and Technology, Dr. V.N. Krishnendran, Vice Principal VAST, Dr. Ramanibai, HOD of CSE VAST, Mrs. Nisha Walson Nair, PTA President, family of Dr. D Balakrishnan, Padmasri Chandrarathan sir, other luminaries, friends, colleagues, all the trustees, executive committee members, coordinators, trustees, and guests, my very humble pranam to you all. So we are gathered here today to celebrate one of the finest men to have walked the corridors of this great and unique institution, Dr. D Balakrishnan, or DB as he is known to his friends and family and in his inner circle. It is indeed a great honor, and I feel immensely privileged to be here. In fact, I'm filling in for Dr. Santosh Prasannan, Chairman of Vidya International Charitable Trust, whose maternal uncle, Dr. D Balakrishnan, was. And Dr. Santosh could have shared his personal anecdotes about DB. Unfortunately, he is in California at this time and is unable to attend this function. But we have several luminaries here today, many of them his contemporaries who can speak about Dr. Balakrishnan more authoritatively than I can. And they will, I'm sure, share the enriching personal experiences they have had with him. We all know that Dr. Balakrishnan was associated with Vidya from the very beginning. And he was our first academic director, a position that he adorned till his untimely demise in 2010. He was also part of the trust steering committee alongside Sri T.N. Jayachandran IAS, Engineer Brahmadattan, and Engineer Mohanachandran. Dr. D. Balakrishnan was the president of Indian Society for Technical Education for many, many years. I understand Dr. KPP Pillai, who was also the executive secretary of ISTE for many years, is a contemporary of Dr. Balakrishnan. In fact, I just learned yesterday that he was with DB from primary school days. And I'm sure Dr. Pillai will reminisce about DB in his speech, and I'm looking forward to hearing that. Dr. D. Balakrishnan was a very active member of academic circles and committees on pan-India level. This helped attract several top personalities to Vidya in its formative years, which helped Vidya achieve the levels of academic excellence that we enjoy today. So in addition to academics, he was actively involved in sports, played cricket at college level, gave cricket commentary on radio, wrote sports articles, and served on several sports organizations as office bearer. It is justified to say, therefore, that along with academic excellence, Dr. D. Balakrishnan was also responsible for laying foundation for Vidya's excellence in sports and extracurricular activities as well. And I was told today, Principal Saji has informed us that Mrs. Jaya Balakrishnan and his other family members are also along with us in this program. And this needs a mention. What attracted Dr. Balakrishnan to Vidya was its clarity of vision, Vidya's clarity of vision, and the purity of Vidya's objectives, which resonated very well with his own values and objectives. In turn, he worked very hard to transform Vidya to the best of its kind in Kerala. Indeed, his vision was to make Vidya the top engineering college in Kerala. And I'm proud to say, with the dedication and hard work of everyone associated with Vidya, we are nearly there. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you're looking forward as keenly as I am to hearing from our chief guest and other dignitaries. So let me not rob more of your time. I think the next one will go straight to Dr. Ramani Bai, who will introduce our guest of honor, and we'll get straight to the function. I thank everyone for attending this August occasion, this gathering, and Jai Hind. Good luck to you all. Stay safe.
Thank you, sir. I invite Dr. Ramani Bai V, Professor and Head, CSE Department, and the convener of this function to introduce our guest of honor.
Thank you, Shyam. My humble wishes to all gathered here. This is a blessed moment for Vidya to have our Guru, Dr. K.P. Parameshwaran Pillai, as the guest of honor for the reminiscence address as a tribute to Dr. D. Balakrishnan. Dr. K.P.P. Pillai, sir, doesn't require any introduction to the academic community in the technical education. I'm a bit nervous looking at his high profile. However, within the time limitation, I shall introduce him briefly for the knowledge of the new generation students and staffs attending this program. KPP Pillai sir is a renowned academician having remarkable achievements. He passed intermediate, BSc Engineering and MSc Engineering of University of Kerala, consistently with first class and first rank, and took PhD from IIT Kharagpur in a record span of 2 years. He won the Prince Avitam Tirunal Gold Medal from the University of Kerala for getting first rank. Dr. Pillai sir is a Pillai sir is a life senior member of IEEE New York. He has published 30 research papers in reputed journals such as Transactions IEEE New York and Proceedings IEE London. He has successfully guided 8 candidates for PhD under University of Kerala. Pillai sir, a former executive secretary of the Indian Society for Technical Education, started his career as a junior engineer at KSEB. He later took up his passionate profession as a teacher at College of Engineering Trivandrum, CET. He joined CET as a lecturer in the Electrical Engineering Department and became the principal of CET in the year 1991. He built up the Government Engineering College, Kannur, the new site, Mangattu Parambu, starting from land acquisition onwards in a record span of 1 year, and received a special award from then Chief Minister of Kerala State. He also built up LBS Center for Science and Technology, Trivandrum, during 1982-1988 in his capacity as Chief Executive. He developed this center from a zero base with its assets rocketing from 1 lakh to 1.8 crores in 5 years. He was the founder director of School of Technology and Applied Sciences, MG University, and established the first university engineering college in Kerala. During his tenure as the Executive Secretary of ISTE, 1997 to 1999, Dr. KPP Pillai sir contributed profoundly for the improving the quality of technical education in our country. He was the special private secretary to Minister Education Government of Kerala during 2000 to 2001. He was the program director AICTE New Delhi and chairman QIP committee of AICTE in 2011 and 2012 for identifying new QIP institutions in India for engineering research. He is also a renowned consultant to many national and international organizations. He has developed a brushless train lightning alternator for KEL under tender from Indian Railways. He was a consultant to all industries under KSIE Limited, UEI Limited, and VSSC. He took up an international assignment as Executive Secretary of ISTE, co-sponsored the first World Congress of Colleges and Colleges and Polytechnics at Quebec City, Canada during May-June 1999. He served as a member in International Steering Committee to evolve the World Council of Colleges and Polytechnics. He implemented Canada-India Institutional Cooperation Project in India in partnership with the Association of Canadian Community of Colleges. For the Agency of Swiss Development and Cooperation, SDC, he executed a learning materials project with an outlay of ₹92 million. He had traveled widely to Tokyo, San Francisco, London, Birmingham, Zurich, Ottawa, Quebec City, Hawaii, Singapore, Kuala Lumpur for giving lectures, sharing sessions, project negotiations, and discussions. I also would like to introduce the interesting facet of Pillai sir. He was in charge of the College Arts Club for several years. He staged several dramas in college. He has also written, directed, and acted in several dramas outside the college. He is also a known author in Hindi literature and has written poetry and novels in Hindi. I'm sure a brilliant director would make a biopic picture of Pillai sir to inspire the upcoming generations. Once again, I reiterate that this is the blessed moment for Vidya, having such eminent persona to address the aspiring engineers. We bow down to KPP Pillai sir for accepting our invitation and being with us. We pray for his good health and wishes happiness for his upcoming birthday on 28th August. Thank you, sir, and thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. It's my privilege to invite our guest of honor, Dr. K.P. Parameswaran Pillai, to address the gathering and deliver the reminiscent speech.
Thank you. Distinguished guests and friends, I have been asked to speak a few words about Dr. D Balakrishnan. I consider this a privilege, and at the outset, I wish to thank you for the same. My association with Dr. Balakrishnan begins from 1946. We were in the same class, third form, which is today's 7th standard, in the same school, namely St. Joseph's English High School, Trivandrum, which is one of the oldest high schools in Kerala state. In fact, the school was given recognition in 1905 by Sir T. Madhavrao, whose statue stands facing the government secretariat. The Second World War had just ended, and it was a talking point everywhere. Privation and unemployment were rampant. Students were dropping out of school, unable to pay fees. Dr. Balakrishnan was an outstanding student, always scoring high marks. Moreover, we were staying in opposite houses at Kunnuri, Trivandrum. Dr. Balakrishnan's father was the chairman of the Public Service Commission in those days. His father's brother was the chief secretary of the state, and another brother was the principal of the Medical College, Trivandrum. After 4 years, we both passed the SSLC examination. It was in those days, it was the ESLC, in English Schools Leaving Certificate Examination. And we were admitted in the intermediate college, which is today known as the University Arts College, the Trivandrum, for the intermediate course, which is today's +2. We were taught by famous teachers, prestigious teachers, who didn't confine their teaching to the textbooks alone. 2 years in that college molded our character in our adolescence. Then came the 4 years in the College of Engineering, Trivandrum. CET was the 10th engineering college in India and the one and only engineering college in the state. Getting admission there was a dream come true. Dr. Balakrishnan chose mechanical engineering and I chose electrical engineering branch. During those years, Balakrishnan was equally immersed in sports activities and games. Subsequently, Dr. Balakrishnan took his MTech and later his PhD from IIT Bombay, while I took my PhD from IIT Kharagpur. We both joined as lecturers in CET through the Public Service Commission in 1960. Dr. Balakrishnan preferred his posting in Government Engineering College, Thrissur. In due course, both of us became assistant professors and professors in our respective departments, to the office of the regional director of education, Calicut. That was the time when I was working as principal government engineering college, Kannur. So in that capacity also, we had several interactions during that period. In Dr. Balakrishnan, we found an able administrator, a skilled orator, an eminent sportsman, and a competent teacher, all put together. After retirement in 1991, Dr. Balakrishnan wanted to confine himself to the promotion of sports and games activities in Trichy district. He was the secretary of the Sports Council and was an excellent commentator for football and cricket matches. It was a pleasure to listen to his commentaries. But he was constrained to return to technical education and was instrumental in establishing the Vidya Academy of Science and Technology at Trichy. From the very beginning, Dr. Balakrishnan insisted on quality of student intake, quality of staff selection based on merit and teaching skills, the best laboratory and library facilities. All this contributed to the eminence of the institution, and Vidya Academy was unparalleled among the private engineering colleges in the state. It was during this period that Dr. D Balakrishnan was elected as chairman of the Indian Society for Technical Education, Kerala State. Kerala State became a vibrant entity under his leadership. He devised and conducted a lot of faculty development programs and career guidance programs in engineering colleges and polytechnics. They were all well received. The last time I met him was in one of these IST programs. Time has taken him away from our midst, but his memory remains as fresh as ever. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I now invite Dr. V.N. Krishnachandran, our Vice Principal, to introduce the chief guest of the function.
Okay. Respected dignitaries present, dear colleagues, students, and all others. A good morning to you all. On behalf of the organizing committee and also on behalf of who have gathered to attend this event, I once again welcome our honorable chief guest, Professor Dr. Mohanan Kundumal, to this program. Now, for the benefit of all who are present here, kindly permit me to introduce this remarkable personality who is going to deliver Dr. D Balakrishnan commemorative lecture. Currently, Professor Dr. Mohanan Kundumal is serving as the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Kerala University of Health Sciences. And he is also the President of the Association of Health Science Universities in Kerala, in India. Before assuming the office of the Vice Chancellor, he has served as a member of the Medical Council of India, which was the national body entrusted with the task of regulating medical education in India. Now, the Medical Council of India has been replaced by the National Medical Commission. Professor Kundumal also has served as the president of Indian Radiological and Imaging Association, served as the state vice president of Indian Medical Association, as the principal of government medical colleges in Thrissur and Manjeri, and also a member of various bodies associated with Kerala University of Health Sciences, and also various bodies established by Government of Kerala. Professor Dr. Mohan Kundumal is, of course, a medical doctor by profession, by training, and he has specialized in radio diagnosis. He is a renowned expert in his field. He has also about 27 years of teaching experience in various medical colleges in Kerala. Now, he has made several scientific presentations in medical conferences at the international, national, state, also the district levels. About 100 presentations he has made over the years. Guided 19 research projects and published 11 research papers in prestigious international journals. So listing the titles of the papers will take a long time, so I'm not going to do that. Now, he has obtained several honors for his remarkable performance in the various areas. These honors include Best Doctor of the State Award by Government of Kerala in 2016. He has been elected as a fellow of the Indian Academy of Medical Specialties in the radiology section. He has been awarded Dr. P.J. Alexander Memorial Oration Award issued by Indian Medical Association, Kerala. He has been selected as an executive counselor of the Radiological Society of North America, also an associate member of European Society of Radiology. With his rich and varied experience and knowledge, Professor Dr. Mohan Kundumal is the most apt person to talk about the title. I'm going to present talk. The title is World of Medical Imaging, Synergy of Technology and Medicine. The theme of the talk is also in line with the vision of Dr. D Balakrishnan Commemorative Lecture Series, which is basically to provide a window to the students and others to some of the ideas that may help create a better world. Thank you, Dr. Professor Mohan Kundumal, for consenting to be the chief guest on today's program. We are looking forward to your talk, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I welcome our honorable chief guest, Dr. Mohan Kundumal, to address the gathering and deliver the commemorative lecture.
Very good morning. Am I audible? And my screen is seen?
Yes, sir.
Good, thank you. Good morning. President of today's webinar, Dr. Manoj Kumar, KB, Vice Chairman of the Vidya Academy, Dr. Saji CB, Principal, Vidya Academy, Guest of Honor, Dr. KPP Pillai, former Executive Director of Indian Society of Technical Education, esteemed members of Vidya family, respected teachers, and my dear students. I'm extremely happy and proud to be here with you all. And I thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to make a lecture in the name of a great visionary leader, Dr. Balakrishnan. Before I start my talk, let me pay homage to this great educationist with folded hands, my pranams. May I use this opportunity to congratulate Vidya Academy for organizing a memorial function in the name of its founding leader. This shows the great Indian tradition and values that Vidya Academy possesses. Now I'll come to my topic, the world of medical imaging, because this is an area where I have been working and this is my specialty, radio diagnosis or medical imaging. And probably this is the only field or maybe the best field where technology and medicine are in so close contact. As a radiologist, when I sit in front of a radiology equipment, certain moments I think, am I just a doctor or am I a technician or a technologist? Because technology is very much within medical imaging and radio diagnosis. I will explain how this happens. So what is medical imaging for that matter? What is medical imaging? Medical imaging, of course, it is not imagining. You are not imagining, but you are seeing. And what you are seeing? Visualization of the internal organs. That is the business of a medical imaging specialist. And when he will see, he can see the internal organ of human body in health as well as in disease. And that is the most important thing, without invading the body. You can see inside an abdomen or a chest or a head of a person by cutting it open. And that is what we have been doing for several centuries. But with the availability of medical imaging technique, without touching a patient, without touching a person, we can see what is inside his body. And what are the options we have? The options we have are the good old X-rays, which is still staying very good. Then using sound, ultrasound, and then CT scan is nothing but a very sophisticated X-ray machine, and MRI, which uses a amazingly different technology, how the protons in the human body responds to magnetic field, and nuclear imaging uses radioactivity. We will see one by one. Father of radiology is this great gentleman, William Conrad Röntgen. He is a physicist. So from him only, the radiology, the medical imaging, the whole science developed. So we pay homage to father of radiology. And this person is a very interesting personality. If you look at the Wikipedia, you just see few broad details, like he was born in March 27, 1845, and that was in Prussia, and he died in Munich. He's a German, he's a physicist, and he is known for X-rays, and he got Nobel Prize in 1901. But the big picture is not this. He discovered X-rays in 1895, November 8th. That day is very precious for all of us radiologists. The science of radiology was born on 8th November 1895. And he was experimenting. He was a physicist, and he was experimenting with vacuum tubes. And one day he applied a high voltage across a vacuum tube. I don't know why he did that, but suddenly something he saw in his room, in his dilapidated room, a plate was shining on which barium platinum cyanide was applied. Normally people would have ignored, but this great thinker thought that something is wrong. Then he realized that something from this tube is going and hitting that screen, and it is causing it to glow. All these things most of us have studied in +2 days. And then he thought that some rays are going, and he tried to block it, but it is not blocking. Then he decided to call it, when you don't know something in mathematics, when you don't know something in algebra, you call it X. So he called it X. And then he called it X-rays and continued his research. And he finally found out that they are nothing but electromagnetic radiations, electromagnetic. So he could have called it Röntgen rays. He could have patented this technology and made millions of dollars, but he did not patent it. And the name is still X-rays, even though some of us call it Röntgen rays. This is the lab wherein William Conrad Röntgen worked. I think most of the high schools will have better labs now, but then this is enough to get a Nobel Prize. And you can see the Röntgen and his colleagues doing his first taking X-rays. And this is very interesting. The first ever X-ray taken in the history of mankind is the X-ray of the hand of his wife, Anna Bertha, on 22nd, 1895, December. And you can see the wedding ring on her finger. This is history. And some interesting things about Röntgen is that he was given Nobel Prize, yes. And what did he do with that Nobel Prize? The entire amount he donated to his university, which seldom people do. And then, in order to honor him, the government in Germany erected a huge bronze statue in Germany, a great thing. But then Second World War came, and there was acute shortage for bronze. And then the government thought it is useful to take guns. So in the Second World War, the bronze, which was used to make a huge statue of Röntgen, was converted into guns, and Röntgen statue never came back. This is how we paid homage to our great scientists. Now, this is a modern X-ray machine. It's a very sophisticated machine where the patient lies, and these are all the parts of the equipment. Now, I will tell you how an X-ray is taken. It's very simple. This is an X-ray tube from which the radiations, X radiations are coming, and here the patient stands at a distance of 6 feet. These are all pre-decided 6 feet distance, and the X-ray beam falls on the patient's back, penetrate through and through the patient, and then falls on an X-ray film which is kept in front of the patient. Okay, fine. And then what do you get? And you get an X-ray film like that. This is the chest X-ray. This is in fact, this gives most of the information we want. In fact, even though we have got so many investigation techniques available all over the world, even today, chest X-ray is the most useful investigation mankind knows. And it's only a black and white picture. Some areas are black, some areas are white. And looking at the black and white areas, we can make a diagnosis. It's very simple. Areas which are denser will be blocking the X-ray so that it won't fall on the film. So denser areas like bones will be seen white. So the collarbone, or called clavicle, the ribs, all these things will be appearing white, and the lungs, which will appear black. So suppose this blackness changes, we know that there is a disease. Or suppose this blackness increases, then also we know that there is disease. This is as simple as that. So all of us are three-dimensional people, but then when you take a picture, you get a two-dimensional picture. So in order to see what is front and what is back, you take a lateral view also. Now, this is an X-ray of a person who is having some disease. It's abnormal. You can see that in this part of the X-ray, it is white when compared to the normal area. This is actually a case of pneumonia. Now here again, another person with a chest X-ray taken, see the one side, it is normal, it is completely black, but here, this side, it is very dense, very dense. So this is because of the fluid. Fluid is denser than water, we know that. So when there is fluid in the chest cavity, then that will appear white, and we will say that there is fluid in the lung. You call it as pleural effusion. It's very simple. Similarly, Here again, when you look at the chest, if you look very carefully, you can see that this side is blacker when compared to this area. In fact, this area, there is no lung. The whole lung has been collapsed down. And so there is lot of air in the chest cavity. This we call as pneumothorax, or air in the lung cavity. This is an emergency. In fact, the patient has to be patient must undergo surgery and remove this air, or otherwise you may lose the patient. So it's again physics and application of physics in medicine. Now, tuberculosis is diagnosed by various tests, but the best test is chest X-ray. In this chest X-ray, you can see that there are certain problems in the chest X-ray, the hilar nodes, all these are enlarged. So you know that this is tuberculosis. And then we subject the patient for treatment. And after treatment, everything disappears. So this chest X-ray is used to make a diagnosis and also to know that the patient has been cured. Now here you are seeing another chest X-ray. It shows bizarre images. You can see multiple rounded white areas. We call as rounded opacities. These multiple rounded opacities are due to malignancy, tumor, multiple tumors. The patient may be having cancer somewhere and that is spreading into the lungs, and that can be seen by a simple X-ray which takes only a few minutes. Now, people gets fracture. So when people gets a fracture, what happened? The bone will be broken. So normally, earlier days, people, you will press the hand, press the area where maximum pain and say that there is fracture or not. Now it is not necessary. In fact, by Röntgen's discovery, you take an X-ray film of the arm. This is the upper arm, and these are the fingers, and you can say that the two bones, the radius and ulna, is broken in the middle. It's as simple as that. Now, after seeing it, you can correct it. You can put a steel rod in between and then take another picture. And after some time, you can remove the steel rod and say that the person is okay. Now, I'm just showing two hands of a normal person. You can see the hands, the bones of the hands. You can see the fingers, and between these bones, the spaces are clear and its alignment is normal. And we know that this is normal. Just see another film where the spaces between the bones are reduced very much and the alignment is changed. And this is a case of rheumatoid arthritis, which we all know. So rheumatoid arthritis can be diagnosed by a simple X-ray. Of course, there are several tests and by which also we can do the diagnosis. Now, this is an X-ray of the skull of a person. This is the X-ray skull, or in fact, this is the X-ray of the head of a person, So when you take a head of the person, you will see the bone, the skull bone only. You will not be able to see the hair. You will not be able to see the skin. You will not to see the brain also. Brain is inside, but you will not see because the skull is covering it. So skull will look like this. And suppose the person gets cancer and it spreads to the skull, you will see small black areas. That means these black areas mean these areas, the bone has been destroyed, and therefore these are skull metastasis. You can diagnose the metastasis or spread of cancer into the skull can be seen by a simple X-ray. Now, again, I'm showing you the chest X-ray again. Chest X-ray, you're seeing the lungs, you're seeing the bones, but then there is a food tube or an esophagus. We eat food and it comes through this tube and goes to the stomach. This is the stomach. We are not seeing it. So when you take an X-ray, you will not be able to see this esophagus or the food tube. But suppose I want to see that tube, what will I do? Now, again, the technology tells us, the chemistry tells us that if you give a substance which has got a very high density, then that will fill the tube, and then you take an X-ray, you can see that. This is what we do. We give barium sulfate. Barium sulfate has got a very high density. You ask the patient to swallow it, and as he swallows, we take an X-ray film. So you are seeing the barium within this tube, and it is the representative of the esophagus, and you know that there is no block, there is no leak, there is no tumor. All these things can be shown. This is again the barium given to another patient. It has swallowed, come down, and suddenly it narrows. It narrows like a tail of a rat. We call a rat tail appearance. And this is because there is a tumor in the lower part of the esophagus. You have heard about the tumor, a cancer in the esophagus. This person, it will be very difficult for him to swallow food. Now, when the barium which we are given, it goes and fills the stomach. You can see the stomach very nicely. And after 1 hour, the barium will go into the intestinal loops. We have got 5 meters of intestine. This whole intestine will be filled with barium so that you can see the intestine. Any abnormality in the intestine can be seen. This is just by using chemistry, using physics, and you are seeing this picture. Now, the colon is the last part of the our intestinal tube, and it's a, wider tube. Here actually what we do is we uh, inject this barium through the anal canal. You push it through the anal canal and fill the colon, and you can see. So any tumor here, any leak here, all these things can be nicely picked up. Now, again, I'm showing the abdomen again. So when you see this abdomen, you cannot see the normal bowel loops, which we have already seen. For that, we need barium. Now, actually, a person has got 2 kidneys on either side of the spine. That also will not be seen in a plain film. The liver is here. But I want to see the kidney. What will I do? And we have a technique. The technique is you inject a substance which is containing iodine to the person, to the blood vessel. So this will go and get concentrated in the kidneys, because kidneys has got a capacity to concentrate anything that comes to the body and then excrete it. That is its business. So iodine also will get concentrated in the kidney, and then you see a picture. Now, can you see this white appearance? This is the appearance of the kidney in the person only after giving iodine. So we can see that kidneys. And suppose this person does not have a kidney, then you will not see. Or suppose this person's kidney is not functioning, then also we will not see. So this is used for various tests of, and this test is called
I think we have a technical issue. Let us wait for Sir to join back.
Yeah, Honorable Vice Chancellor will be joining back very soon. He has a network issue. Just called me and he will be joining back soon. We'll wait for some time.
These are the glimpses of the previous day DB Day functions, and this is for the benefit of lay joiners.
Vice Chancellor may take some more time. So meanwhile, we can continue with the speakers. When he joins, we'll receive the talk.
Okay, thank you, sir. I request Mr. P.K. Ashokan, Chief Patron, Vidya International Charitable Trust, for paying tributes of Dr. D.B. Sir. His close association with Dr. D.B. Sir and the teamwork of both of them had immensely benefited Vidya to set its vision and its subsequent realization. I request him to make the commemorative speech.
ശ്രീനാരായണ പരമഗുരവേ നമഃ. Respected President of this function, Engineer Manoj Kumar, family members of Dr. D Balakrishnan, sir, honorable guests of the day, Dr. KPP Pillai, Dr. Mohan Kundamal, Padma Shri MC Dathan, other dignitaries, good afternoon to all of you. Time passes very fast. It's 11 years now since our beloved leader, Dr. D Balakrishnan, left us. However, we still feel his presence and energy in Vidya. Dr. DB was the first person whom we approached to lead Vidya Academy of Science and Technology when we got the approval. Our founder, executive director, beloved Brahmadathan, wanted us to have an eminent person to lead the institution and clearly stated that he will not be able to lead an engineering college. He will take care of all the administrative responsibilities and coordination. And at that juncture, I had the opportunity to meet Dr. D Balakrishnan sir and request his association to lead Vidya Academy of Science and Technology. He was more than an academic director. He was the whole soul of academic environment in Vidya institutions. From that day, that is the first day we received the information that we got the approval for setting up an engineering college in Trichu. And the moment Dr. DB accepted our request, from that time until now, soul of Dr. DB is with us in leading our academic activities. Dr. DB sets high goals and was to get it done. He never compromises with situations, difficulties. He strictly insists on quality and time. Dr. DB was an excellent team builder. It is not that difficult to equip an organization with facilities, buildings, or lab or other equipments. But it is not that easy to connect and maintain an excellent faculty academicians. It's all with the talents and capabilities of Dr. DB that we could start all our departments with IIT doctorate at our departments. Blessings of Sri Narayana Gurudeva have always been with us in connecting eminent personalities to Vidya management team. When Dr. DB physically left us, we had difficulty in finding a person in the position of academic director. Fortunately, Dr. Gangan Prathapan, the world-renowned aerospace engineer, agreed to take that position at that time. Recently, we had to reinforce our management team to handle increasing challenges. Another great soul, Mr. Unirajan IPS, volunteered to shoulder the responsibilities of administration director. As most of us you know, Mr. Unirajan is an outstanding professional with a solid commitment in social responsibility. He is a recipient of numerous awards, including the President's Awards for his excellence in professional activities, as well as in social support. Our chairman, Dr. Santosh Prasannan, often says that Vidya is a unique trust. Vidya is an organization knitted with mutual respect, mutual trust, and gratitude. As an act of gratitude to the society and as a tribute to Dr. D Balakrishnan, sir, let us rededicate ourselves to continue our effort in enhancing the technological environment of Vidya institutions and extend its benefits to the society. I conclude my words by bowing my head before our beloved leader, Dr. D Balakrishnan, sir. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Vice Chancellor is now ready to enter. Technical team, please permit him to enter. Yes, sir. Welcome back. I think Vice Chancellor has joined back. So you are visible. Now we can see you.
Okay. I'm terribly sorry. In fact, my laptop suddenly thought it will not function. I did whatever medical manipulations I know, so I could not do anything. So finally, I have to call my IT specialist, and he has taken away the laptop, and I'm with a new laptop. Okay. So, shall I start?
Yes, sir. We can continue. We can continue.
Yeah. Now you're seeing my image.
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay. So we were discussing about seeing the kidneys and ureters, and that is one technique which we do that. Now, in breast cancer, now it's a very big problem. Probably Kerala has become the capital of breast cancer. Not only Kerala, the whole country, large number of breast cancers are being detected. Maybe we are detecting it. It was there already. We don't know. So this is, there are several techniques by which we use, but then there is a dedicated machine to detect cancer, and that is called a mammography. Mammography machine is nothing but an X-ray machine. And this machine is made to take X-ray films of the breast. And this is how it is being done. And this is a very sophisticated machine, reasonably low-end machine will cost us about 20 lakhs, and a digital mammography machine will cost more than 1.5 crore. So it's a very costly thing, but the technique is very simple. You put the breast in between the space and then compress it and take a picture, and you get a picture like this. So this is an X-ray picture. From this X-ray picture, you can say that whether cancer is there or not. So this here again, the technology is applied for saving the humankind. Now coming to heart disease, which is another very big problem we are all facing. So we all know that we have heard a person walking or sleeping, and suddenly he has got a heart attack and he dies. So what is the problem? The problem is there are narrow blood vessels around the heart, and that gives blood to the heart. And suppose that blood vessel is blocked, then the person has got a serious problem. So what will you do? You will have to find out the blood vessel is normal or not. So that again is done by using radiology. So that is called coronary angiogram. So taking the picture of the coronary blood vessels. And once you see any obstruction to these coronary blood vessels or narrowing, you do techniques by which you open up the blocked vessel or you dilate the vessel, and that is called angioplasty. This is now very common. Almost a large number of hospitals in Kerala is capable of doing wonderful coronary.
As there is some network issues at the speaker side, let us move on to the next speaker. I now invite Mr. G. Mohanachandran, Honorary Advisor and Non-Executive Director of VICT, for paying tributes of Dr. D.B. Sir. Being a colleague of Dr. D. Balakrishnan right from the inception of Vidya, he is the right person to share his memories of working with Dr. D. Balakrishnan.
Good afternoon. No. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Very much, monitor.
Good afternoon, respected President of the function, Engineer Manoj, the most respected guest of the day, Dr. KPP Pillai, today's guest of the keynote address, delivering person, Dr. Mohanan Kundumal, all other dignitaries, we cannot say on the dais, but the virtual dais, including our honorary advisor MCD, Chief Patron Ashok, Principal Dr. Saji, our Executive Director Suresh Lal, Academic Director Miriajan, our former Principal and Dean of Academic Dr. Sudha, Vice Principal Krishnachandran, and all other distinguished the place, the trust, and media students. Today, we are observing the 11th death anniversary of Dr. D Balakrishnan. They dedicated to the propagation of technology and management through a established talk series of national level import. Even though we are conducting this talk series for the last 11 years, and it is well attended by both the students and the faculty members and other people from various sections of the society. I think the intended purpose was not fully served. We could not raise this talk series to the level it was expected. So before saying a few words about Dr. DB and our association with him, I got a suggestion to the trust and the college authorities. Consider converting this talk series into a plus paper presentation from the students included in the fund. A competition of the students in writing technical papers or management papers and awarding some prizes for them, and those papers who are fit for publication shall be given our support to get published through journals and other publications. If we make this change, I think this commemorative speech series will continue for more period than it will if we go like this. Dr. KPP and Ashok have said almost everything about Dr. DB. I don't have much to add to that, except the nice experience we had working together for more than 10 years. Even though I know Dr. DB from 1970, 71, we were closely associating only from 2000, when both of us were brought to this movement, Vidya, by our chief patron, Ashok. The first 2 years, I had a very little role in it. I spent only very little time for the activities of Vidya. Since then, till 2010, when the two strong pillars of the organization left us suddenly, our founder, executive director, Brahmadan sir, and academic director, DV sir. During these 10 years, we were spending many hours for discussing, debating, and executing different subjects and topics, and also works and plans for Vidya and its associated activities. So, Balakrishnan was a role model for all students and faculty. He never skipped a class assigned to him. Unlike many of the academic leaders in these days, he was very particular in having at least one subject handled even after his retirement and post-retirement period. The another area he was active was the faculty development program. He was very particular in developing, in grooming the new faculty members. He was a faculty and a well-accepted faculty in FDP programs conducted all over the country, and his name and fame was extended in not only in Kerala but in all other states also. Even his popularity helped us to get approval. He played some role in getting the approval of AICT for the first time for the first inspection team. There were 3 members. They started the inspection, and after seeing some of the deficiencies, they were not happy about the preparedness of the preparedness from our side. After completing the inspection of the main block, when we moved to the workshop block, the then workshop superintendent was explaining about the arrangements they made in the workshop. On seeing the arrangements and machineries, one of the inspecting members, expert members, asked who designed this. And the answer, Siddharthan, the workshop superintendent, gave the answers was Dr. D Balakrishnan. D Balakrishnan was a member of many of the inspecting teams from AICT to various new and existing technical institutions. And this gentleman from Andhra Pradesh, one Rao, I forgot his name, he was accompanied Dr. D Balakrishnan in many of such inspections. Suddenly, the tone and approach of the person has changed. Oh, Dr. D Balakrishnan, is he associated with you? Yes, we answered that he is our leader, he is our academic director. He is waiting in our city, our corporate office at the town. Since then, the rest of the inspection was almost smooth. The criticism was mainly from the other two people. And he made a comment. He will tell the engineering colleges, other private engineering colleges, taking much of the
I think there is a network issue. Let us wait for a few minutes.
hello.
Yes, sir, you can.
Hello. Yeah, I think I missed the connection was broken for some time. For the young faculty members and students, Dr. DB was a real role model to emulate. Please try to be another Dr. D Balakrishnan, a model student, a model teacher, and a model social being. That's all from my side. I wish every faculty members and students and others a very warm and prosperous Onam, and also wish everybody to stay safe in this pandemic days. Thank you, and thank you to the organizers for giving me a chance to speak something about our departed DB sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Honorable Vice Chancellor could rejoin and join back. Sir, over to you.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So I hope this will not break again. But anyway, in between, we could hear about Dr. D Balakrishnan also. So probably God has made it in such a way that in between talk also we can pay homage to this great man. Okay. So we have been discussing about the heart diseases and the blood vessel which is supplying to the heart muscle, and these are called coronary arteries. And when these blood vessels does not get blood, when it is blocked, the person gets heart attack and very often he dies immediately. So we just test the blood vessels and see whether there is any. Here there is a small block. So these blocks can be removed by techniques like this is the machine where this angiogram is done. This again is a very sophisticated marvel of engineering, where the X-ray tube is here, the patient lies in between, and the images come on the TV screen, and the contrast material, an iodine containing material is injected to the human body. It goes to the blood vessel, and from the blood vessel can be seen. So whole thing is totally technology. And then suppose you see a block, what will you do? You put a tube through the blood vessel in the upper thigh, the femoral artery, what we say. And this tube, again, this tube is an engineering marvel. Through this tube is pushed through the abdominal aorta, and it reaches the heart, and then it reaches the small blood vessel. And then this, this tube can be connected here. So here is the narrowing. So narrowing of the blood vessel, tiny blood vessel has got a narrowing, and then that is removed, and then a stent, a metallic stent. This again is another technological marvel. This is kept here so that this blood vessel will never become narrow. And then people will say that he had a coronary angioplasty, his chest pain is gone, and he lives for years together. This is what we are doing with the help of technology. Now we are coming to ultrasound imaging. Ultrasound imaging is technology where sound is used for seeing. You can use sound for seeing. And which sound? The sound which is having a very high frequency in terms of 2 to 10 million cycles. So such sounds are being used for human imaging. So we have heard about sonar. In fact, when you have a ship going through the sea, it wants to know what are the things in the water around it. Big fishes, a submarine, a bomb, all these things. So it uses sound waves. The sound waves will start from the ship, goes and hit either the fish or the submarine, and then it gives an information what is around it. So people thought, if you can find things under sea, why not we use the same thing in human body? And that's how the ultrasound imaging developed. And this is a typical ultrasound machine which you can see in most of the hospitals. And the most important part of this ultrasound machine, I'll tell you, is these things are the most important part. These are called ultrasound probes. It contains piezoelectric crystals. Piezoelectric crystals are those crystals where when a vibration is applied, it will produce electricity, and electricity can produce vibration. So from vibration you can have electricity, and from electricity you can have vibration. So sound waves in terms of 2 to 10 megahertz, that means millions of cycles of sound is produced, and then this is used in this particular machine, and it is used for scanning the abdomen, gynecology, obstetrics, that is pregnancy, blood vessel, small part, orthopedic, many areas can be used. This is a typical machine. Now, this is the probe, and you can see a small, nice fetus. The way it's few weeks old, and you can see it nicely. It's just 11 weeks old. You can see in the uterine cavity. So using ultrasound, the fluid will be seen black. Fluid will be seen black, and solid tissue will be seen as white. Of course, from the appearance of blackness and whiteness, we make diagnosis. And you can nicely see a baby's profile. You must have seen a pregnant woman going for ultrasound. You can see the forehead, the nose, the lips, the hands of the baby. You can nicely see. You can see the baby moving. And people say that the baby will respond to music. In fact, one of our colleagues is having a study on the response of a baby or a fetus with respect to music. And the story that Swati Tirunal learned music when he was in mother's womb may be correct. And you can see the brain of the fetus. You can see the brain nicely, the brain, so small brain. And you can see the heart. The heart of the baby can be nicely seen. The 4 chambers of the heart can be nicely seen. And you can see the spine. The spine can be nicely seen. And sometimes the baby will show his hands as if he's ready to shake hand with you. You can see the hands of the baby, or you can see the foot of the baby. With this foot, the baby may be kicking the mother in between. Then mother says, I got a kick. Maybe it may be true. And we have got 3-dimensional ultrasound. That is the new technology. With this, you can have a 3-dimensional image, and this 3-dimensional image will show the fetus or the baby as equal to a photograph. You can see if you look nicely, you can see the nose of the baby, the eyes can be seen, the lips can be seen, and in between you can see it is smiling, or it is swallowing the fluid in which it is lying, and you can even see it is passing urine. So all these things can be seen. Now this is the place from where all of us have come. This is the uterus of a lady, and this expands too huge, and then the pregnancy is inside. So you can see the uterus, any abnormality in the uterus, why the ladies having infertility. All these things can be seen within 1 or 2 minutes by ultrasound. And this is the ovary from which the ovum comes, and from the ovum fertilizes with the sperm, and then that's how the human life starts. So you can see the ovary so nicely. And now we are coming to the abdomen. So abdomen, we have seen the X-ray where you cannot see the liver, because that technology cannot show soft tissue. So you are using another technology, and that technology is ultrasound. With that ultrasound, you can see the liver so nicely, and any abnormality in the liver can be seen. Abnormality like this, see this liver different from that. Here it's a black area. This black area is fluid and some white particles also. This is actually an abscess or a pus in the liver. So olden days, what we used to do is that we operate the person, then cut the liver and take the pus out. Now the technology has given more advantages. The technology has given us tubes. These tubes have been discovered by marvelous engineering groups. They have done different kind of tubes, and now we doctors can push the tube into the liver directly without opening the person, and you can just aspirate whatever pus is there, and so that you can see the tube going into the abscess, or you can see the pus, and it can be drained out, and maybe within 1 or 2 days he can go home, no surgery. So these are all marvels of technology. Now, sometimes you must have seen people saying that gallbladder kallundennu parayum. So gallbladder, stones in the gallbladder. So you can see the stones here nicely, and you can decide whether this has to be taken out, this has to be operated or not. So all these things, decisions can be taken. Now, kidneys. In fact, Kerala has got people with lot of kidney problem, and especially people who are coming out from Gulf, they have got stones in the kidneys. That's a big problem. So you can see a normal kidney here so nicely, and then you see another person who has got this kidney has got something white, and from that white shadows are coming. So this is typical of a stone in a kidney, and this is very common in Kerala. And when you see a stone, what will you do? Of course, here you can operate and remove the stone, but again, technology has given us something else. This is called extracorporeal lithotripsy. That means without cutting the person, without touching the person, you apply shock wave, ultrasound, very high ultrasound shock wave directly to the kidney. And because of this shock wave, the stones get crushed, and then it will pass out along with urine. So this is technology saving human life. Now, you must have heard that people saying that I got a thyroid problem. You want to see the thyroid? Here it is. The thyroid can be nicely seen, and any abnormality, any mass in the thyroid, any abnormal functioning of the thyroid, all these things can be nicely seen using ultrasound. I am just showing a bird's eye view how ultrasound can be used to see various parts of the human body. Now, you must have heard that people are saying, I am going for an echo. I am going to see the cardiac function. How does my heart pump? Echo is nothing but an ultrasound of the heart. Sound waves are used to see the heart, and you can see the 4 chambers of the heart can be nicely seen. And there is another technology called color Doppler, which used so that the blood flow also can be seen from the heart. These things take only 1 or 2 minutes, and it does not invade the human body. That is the technology. And now here I am showing the picture of a great electrical engineer. His name is Godfrey N. Hounsfield, and he discovered he created the first whole body CT scanner. He built the first whole body CT scanner in 1975, and after a few years he was awarded Nobel Prize. And this is the CT scan you have seen, or some of you must have underwent investigation also. This is a CT tube machine, which is called gantry of the X-ray CT scan machine, and this is where patient lies. So this is just a very sophisticated X-ray machine. I will tell you how does it function. Actually, this is an X-ray tube, and the person is in between, and across the X-ray tube there are hundreds of detectors. So the X-ray, which is coming from the tube, passes through the patient, and then some of the X-rays will be absorbed by the body and the rest will fall on the detector. So the detector will know how much X-ray has reached there and how much it has been absorbed. And then there is a very huge sophisticated computer in this machine, and this computer in the machine calculates the density of various parts of the body. And that is the very, what can I say, a very elementary way of saying this technology. And this is the original machine where all these things were done by those engineers. And now, for example, I want to take the CT scan of the head. So suppose I do an X-ray of the head. You get a picture like this. You are getting a picture like you don't see any brain inside. You cannot see the brain. But suppose you take a CT scan. In the CT scan, what it does is it cuts the head into multiple slices. Just like you cut a bread into slices, you cut a bread into multiple slices. Human head is cut into slices, of course, not physically cutting, but cut into slices by the technology, and the technology cuts into multiple slices, and each slice you can take out and look what is abnormal, what is normal, what is, so you can see various parts of the brain. For example, I am magnifying the mid part of the brain where you can see the cerebral cortex, and all these areas can be nicely seen. And then suppose there is a patient with a head injury, then you take a CT scan. This is a very, very important film for me. This was taken in 2001 on July 4th. I don't know whether you remember. On July 4th, 2001, there was a bomb blast in Thrissur railway station, Alleppey train. There was a bomb blast, few people died, and then immediately these patients were brought to the medical college, and medical college has just installed a CT scan machine. We did not inaugurate it, so we did not wait the minister to come to inaugurate. We just took an CT scan, and we could see the fracture in the skull in this patient. The unconscious patient. You can see these white areas are bleeding in this patient. So this memorable CT scan tells us the memory of the bomb blast and the inauguration of the machine, this technology on that particular day. Now, sometimes you get patients with stroke, patients suddenly becoming unconscious, one side is not moving, then this is called stroke. And then we use CT scan. It's very important to use CT scan at that time. And because this stroke can be due to two reasons. One, blood supply to that area is dead, then that is called infarct, or there is a bleeding. So these two conditions can cause stroke, and this can be differentiated by CT scan, and treatment are entirely different for these two conditions. Here you can see in the brain, this white area is blood, whereas in this CT scan, the black area shows that there is no blood supply. So this is a dead area of the brain. So this can be detected. Now, many of us suffer sinusitis and take X-ray, but CT scan gives the excellent picture of the sinuses. All the sinuses can be so nicely seen. Or a patient has got a fracture of the spine, again, vertebra. So that also can be nicely seen. Now, CT scan can be used to see the chest. Now, the advantage of CT scan is which area you are interested, that area can be focused. Here you are focusing the heart and the ribs, so you are seeing that area. Now I am focusing the lungs. So the same CT scan, I can focus the lungs and I can see the normal lungs. Now I am showing the CT scan, the lungs of a patient who had COVID. So you can see what we do is a high resolution CT scan, and normally the entire lung should be black, but you are seeing a lot of white areas. So these are, we call it as ground glassing appearance. This appearance tells us that this person is having a disease, and this is very typical of COVID. And we will calculate the area where this is white, and we will say that this many percentage disease is there. Now, similarly, the CT scan can be used to see the abdomen. Abdomen, you can see the liver, stomach, all these areas can be very nicely seen. And a tumor in the liver, liver cancer, again, it can be seen with this technology. And you can decide, I shown you the tubes and needles. So these needles can be put straight into this thing, and you can take few cells or a biopsy and say that what kind of cancer it is, and then you can plan a surgery to remove this. Now three-dimensional reconstruction is another technology now we have with the ability of the computerization and the ability of the engineer software upgradation. So you can get a three-dimensional reconstructed picture of the abdomen. You can see the ureters, the kidneys, and the bladder into which the urine is going. So all these things can be seen as if it is in live. Or you can see the blood vessels of the pulmonary blood vessel. The blood vessels of the lung can be nicely seen. And if you want to add on color and make it very impressive, you can see three-dimensional picture, so that it is very easy for us to make a diagnosis and teach. All these things are due to our computer engineers. Now, this is not the real heart, but a picture of a heart taken using a CT scan, using the technology, and you apply color to various area. You can see the small blood vessels. All these things can be seen due to the marvel of technology. And you can see again heart, the main blood vessels. All these things can be nicely seen. Now I am coming to the another technology. It's called MRI. MRI is first MRI machine was created by Raymond Damadian. Raymond Damadian actually was a physician. With the help of his physicist and engineering colleagues, he submitted his patent, and this is the patent submitted by Damadian. And this is a typical MRI scanner where the patient will lie down, and the huge magnet, very huge magnet is in this machine, and the patient moves into this tube, and under the influence of magnet, his protons will have got certain changes, and that will be recorded, and finally you get a picture. And there are people who are very difficult, and they find it very difficult to go into the this long tube. They feel afraid, and for that the companies have made an open MRI so that they can see everything around. And this is the machine where the magnet and the other equipments are around this thing, and patient is inside. Of course, very often you will get terrified when you go into the tube. And also this machine creates a huge noise also. You get terrified. And MRI again, you get pictures just like you get slices as I have shown the bread slices. You can get pictures from top to bottom. You can take the cut section. In addition to that, in MRI, you can take sections in various other aspects also, from axial, coronal, longitudinal, all these things can be taken. So this is the MRI brain. MRI brain shows the brain much better than CT scan, because the soft tissues, all these things are seen much better. So the whole chest and abdomen can be nicely shown by MRI, and you can see the kidneys and the blood vessel. All these things can be nicely shown by MRI. And the knee joint can be nicely seen. We know that people with knee joint problem, people have got pain in the knee joint. You say that that ligament has been broken, this ligament has broken. All these things, ligaments, everything can be seen by MRI. And backache is a very common problem all of us suffer. And what is the problem? Whether the disc is bulging out, whether it is pressing on the nerve root, spine, all these things can be seen. In fact, in pregnancy also, you can see the fetus or the baby so nicely. You can see the fetus, entire fetus can be seen. In fact, MRI can be safely used in pregnancy, whereas you cannot use X-ray, you cannot use CT, because CT has X-ray, so they cannot be used in pregnancy. So in pregnancy, you can always use ultrasound. It is safe, it is just sound waves. And MRI, it is just a magnetic influence. So you can use MRI also. So both have been recommended. Now I'm coming to the another entirely different area. It's called nuclear imaging or radioactive imaging. And it's very, very interesting. A radioactive substance like technetium or iodine-31 is injected into the human body. It is injected into through the blood vessel. It is injected into the human body, and it will get concentrated in various parts. Certain things will concentrate in thyroid, certain will concentrate in the kidney. So then this is a gamma camera. This is a gamma camera. This detects the radiation. It detects the radiation, and then it will be, the image will be displayed. It's very simple technology, but then it's a very complicated machine. So this is the gamma camera. The patient lies here and the camera is here, and this takes wonderful pictures. And how does it look like? For example, if you want to scan your thyroid, the thyroid gland will take iodine. That's why this whole area is black. But here, this area, thyroid gland is not taking iodine. Why? Because the thyroid gland has been replaced by a tumor. So you can identify that here is a tumor in this thyroid gland. Now, bone scan. Very often you must have heard of bone scan. Person with cancer somewhere, then they want to find out whether this cancer has affected the bone of the person. So the whole body bone scan is taken, and if there is some, these black areas shows that some activity. Activity means there is the radioactive material is there. So certain areas normally also the activity will be there, but certain areas normally we don't expect activity, and then you will have to make a diagnosis. Now I'm coming amazing technology called positron emission tomography or PET scan. What is positron? Positron is a positively charged electron. Positively. So it's a misnomer, a positively charged particle which is having the same weight of electron, but it is positively charged. And this positron and electron touch each other, they annihilate, and energy is created. And this energy is called gamma rays. So this technology is used in imaging. So this is a PET scanner, and the machine, the patient lies here, and the detection is done in this way. Actually, the human body uses glucose. So glucose is injected into the human body. In this glucose, a radioactive material, radioactive carbon is added into the glucose, and then it is injected into the human body. So wherever this glucose is maximum use, it can be seen. For example, this is a cancer patient. This cancer patient has got cancer in various parts, and in cancer, the glucose will be used more, so that PET scan will show it very, very active. So this black area shows that tumor areas, and he was given chemotherapy, and most of this tumor has disappeared. So it's an amazing tool by which you can know that whether this is the treatment is successful or not. Now, this positron emission tomography is combined with a CT scanner. We have seen already a CT scanner. So both are combined. This is again another marvel of technology. Once they are combined, you get a PET CT. So using this is an image used using the CT scan. You can see the CT scan can produce an image like this. Now we are using PET scan. PET scan can show activities here and there. So then the computer will merge these two images. So you get a combined CT PET image. So you know which part this bright area is there. So you know that this in the part of the length there is a tumor. So the PET CT gives an amazing image, and it's extremely useful for diagnosis, especially in cancer. Now we are going further. The PET scan is combined with an MRI scan. PET scan itself will cost 5-6 crores, and MRI scanner will cost again about 7 to 10 crores. A PET MRI may cost you about 20 crores. But then this sophisticated machines, we are happy to say that it's available in India, we have these multiple machines like this, and Indians are very good in PET MRI also. So in PET, actually this is the PET imaging, and you can see the heart, there is activity because glucose is used in heart, and brain also the glucose is used very well because I am talking, you are listening, all these activities are happening just because our brain is using glucose. And this use of glucose can be monitored by the positron tagged material in the glucose. It is called FDG. It is given to the person. Now this is a PET imaging. Now you take an MRI imaging. In MRI imaging, you see the soft tissue so nicely, better than the CT scan image. Then both are merged. So this plus this, you gives a PET MRI. So this is the latest technique by which, so we have got several techniques. The technology is available, and with this technology, you can see each and every part of the human body and make a diagnosis. And that is the advantage of merger of medicine with technology, or synergy of technology with medicine. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That was a very informative session. Thank you, sir. I now invite Mr. Suresh Lal, Executive Director of VICT, to pay tributes to Dr. D Balakrishnan.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Respected dignitaries, respected family members of DB sir, and Vidya family members. And good afternoon to you all. Today, we are gathered here to pay tribute to our legendary founder, academic director, Dr. D Balakrishnan, or our own DB sir. Vidya was fortunate to have associated with such a legend. Dr. DB was very active and well respected in academic circles. He was able to attract several good academicians to Vidya, which gave strong foundation to realize the level of academic excellence that we enjoy today. I haven't had an opportunity to work with him, and therefore not in a position to share any personal anecdotes like the previous speakers. But DB sir is very, very familiar to me, as his name is referred to in our discussions many times. Vidya owes DB sir a lot for what Vidya is today, and will always be in our thoughts. There are a lot more things to do for fully realizing its vision and dream. Therefore, while paying tribute to DB sir, let us renew our commitment and rededicate us to work together for fully realizing its dream. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I now invite Dr. Sudha Balagopalan, Dean Academics Vidya, to pay tributes to Dr. D Balakrishnan, sir. She would probably recollect the experiences of working with him as a teacher from her memories.
Good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon, Shyama. Thank you. A very good afternoon. I suppose I'm audible. I'm hoping that
Yes.
I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am. You're audible.
Okay, so a very good afternoon to everyone, including the honored and distinguished guests, the respected family members of Professor DB sir, as also the entire family of Vidya, starting from the trust led by the chair of today's session. And then again, all the directors, the trust members, the entire Vidya clan, including the students. I repeat, a very good afternoon to each one of you. DB Day, as it comes in the wake of our Independence Day, has always given me a concept of DB sir as epitomizing what Rabindranath Tagore wrote when he talked about where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. This is my picture of DB sir that I carry from times even earlier to my joining Vidya. Now it is perhaps past 1 o'clock. You must be hungry. That reminds me of another aspect of DB sir, wherein in any function, when we approach him with a function, be it in the college or be it in the association activities wherein I was also a part of, I would notice that he would ask for the menu of the food that was being shared. And thereafter, he would, after tasting the food, he would also make comments. I also have heard of a very enduring habit of his. Okay, I'm speaking about certain other aspects, perhaps not very much, but which is not very much aware to other people. So I would hear that he would, in executive meetings in this association, he would carry home, he would wrap up a masala dosha, which was served in these meetings, and along with tea, he would wrap up the masala dosha, one for his wife. It was a very endearing gesture that I noticed in him. But then later on, when my husband also emulated the same thing, I found the pleasure in the gesture was much more than what the pleasure that was given by the masala dosha passing through our mouth. Another aspect that I've noticed, okay, and I've also given quite a lot of respect to, is the way in which when my daughter got a national award, he was instrumental. In fact, he was forcing her to come onto the stage. He honored her and he made her to speak. Thereafter, in this association, the children of the elders and the elderly always got some scope for being present as also being presenting themselves. This, I believe, had helped a long way in the development of the children of those days. Moving on to some of the functions that we had within the college. Okay, we used to have what is called as, of course, he was more or less instrumental in setting up the staff club. And then in the staff club, in the activities or the staff club day, he would always have an event. Okay, one important quiz that I remember to this day happened to be whenever he would couple the names of the staff members. Any staff member, there's absolutely no difference between the different layers of the staff within the college. He would couple the names, the starting letters, and he would give us some hints, etc. And we had to guess the name of the staff that he was referring to. This sounded a lot of personalized interest in him in the development of the people associated with him, as of course within Vidya. And in one event, in one of the staff club days, I still remember his sonorous voice singing out "Aansu Bhare Hain Ye Jeevan Mukesh's song." And before he sang, he said that though he liked very tough songs sung by Mohammad Rafi and Kishore Kumar, etc., Manade, etc., he preferred to sing a simpler song because he can sing only a simple song. This self-effacing kind of gesture is very rare in these days. Everyone projects oneself or pretends to be beyond what one is capable of. But he was not of that kind at all. And this, in the same way, his projection of other people's children was also something that I have not noted in many people. And the endearing gesture of bringing home or taking home to his wife a masala dosha to share, I found it, I think that people find such gestures as weaknesses, but I believe that all these small incidents or small gestures of his prove to establish that our DB sir, no doubt, was an extraordinary man. And of course, if you start to remember, as the song says, "Yaad karoge to bahut baat yaad aayegi," I think I would not be able to stop. And of course, you must be wanting your lunch. And so perhaps there will be more. Of course, there should be more DB days to come. And so towards those, let us all wait. And before I stop, I again pay my deepest respects to the man who was DB sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I now invite Ms. Mahalakshmi A, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, and the coordinator of this event to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a great honor to deliver the vote of thanks on this remarkable occasion. First of all, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to the Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Mohanan Kunnummal, Vice Chancellor, Kerala University of Health Sciences, for his valuable time towards Vidya College and enlightening us on the topic of medical imaging. Thank you, sir, for sharing your knowledge with us. Thank you. Next, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to the guest of honor, Dr. K.P. Parameswaran Pillai, former Executive Secretary, ISTE. Thank you, sir, for gracing this occasion with your presence. Next, I would like to thank Mr. Manoj Kumar KB, Vice Chairman of VICT, for the presidential address. Thank you, sir. I would like to express our sincere gratitude to Mr. P.K. Ashokan, Chief Patron, VICT, for sharing your memories and tributes. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Mr. G. Mohanachandran, Honorary Advisor and Non-Executive Director, VICT, for sharing the memories with us. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to thank Mr. Suresh Lal, Executive Director, VICT, for paying tributes to Dr. D Balakrishnan, sir. Thank you, sir. I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Sudha Balagopalan, Dean Academics Vidya. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your memories with us. Next, I extend my sincere gratitude to our principal, Dr. Saji CB, for his support and guidance to host this event. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank our Vice Principal, Dr. V.N. Krishnachandran, for giving a brief introduction of our chief guest. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to thank our beloved HOD, who is the convener of the program, Dr. Ramani Bai V, for her constant support and motivation and guidance throughout this program. Thank you, ma'am. Next, I thank all the distinguished invitees present here for accepting our invitation. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to the organizing team, staffing CSC and ITIMS for working hard for the past few days to make this event a successful one. Last but not least, I wish to express my sincere thanks to the heads of various departments, teaching and non-teaching staff, and students who gathered for this event and made it a successful one. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I request all the students who have joined the program to fill out the feedback form. Thank you all. Stay safe and have a great day ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Well
Thank you,
organized.
everyone. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you.
So it applies to all. Stay safe.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Wherever you are. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care, yeah.
Thank you.
And our regards to your daughter also, okay?
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Sudha. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. An excellent session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.